Hi guys, welcome to the roast session for your weekly dose of heat, where we will pelt you with podcasts and gaming videos. Follow us also on twitch.tv/the roast session. Welcome back to another TRS Podcast.
Yeah?
It's been a while. How has everyone been? Yeah, you've done things with your hair. I love them.
Yeah, my hair was cut by my mom.
Awesome.
Oh wait, no, you legit got your hair cut by your mom?
Yeah, like...
Yo, I miss when my dad used to cut my hair. Only reason I was an afro because I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, my mom was tight that I was growing my hair so long. So, like, one day she just, like, woke me up. I was all groggy. And she's like, I'm cutting it off. And
Y'all woke up to the sound of clippers. He was like, what is that? This is a nightmare?
You know, my mom does what she can to help me out. Like, recently, you know, my phone was, KIA. So, you know, my mom went to the AT&T store to buy me a new cell phone.
Oh,
And the guy who was selling us, like, the phone, he felt like a car salesman. Because we were like, okay, we need to buy 2 phones. One for, each of my sons. And he's like, okay. Oh, we might be able to throw that second phone in for free. And Mom's like, oh, that sounds great. He's like, all right. If you want the second phone for me, you gotta get this DirecTV package. And we're like, okay.
What?
I mean, we kind of already all need to, switch, providers. So that's gonna be fine.
DirecTV has a phone plan?
I didn't know that.
That's fucking weird.
So I was like, you'll be able to switch, right? And we're like, oh, yeah, sure. And he's like, all right. And by the time I came back to see what my mom and that guy was discussing, we were buying a whole security plan. And
good Lord.
There was a doorknob with like a keypad. He's like, would you like this in nickel? And I was just like, what?
Yo, that guy's getting a promotion today.
So that happened.
He's getting a promotion.
I feel like you didn't even go to like a regular like phone distribution place. You went to like a Walmart. He was just trying to sell everything
Would
they
you
had.
like-
I just went to AT&T.
Did you walk into AT&T
mall.
or Atlantic Honda? What the fuck happened?
It was crazy. I literally went in for one phone, and I left an hour later with a whole security system.
Good Lord.
Jeez Louise.
Dude,
Well-
holy shit.
But I skipped our introduction. I'm sorry. It's still your host Gabs. As always with me is Yao, Stefan, and Lugo.
Word.
Here.
I
It's
still
not a
exist.
live full event, Yao.
I know, man.
Yo, for real.
How about you, Stefan? What have you been up to lately?
I've been going ham in Dark Souls. I've beaten it 3 times already.
Shout out to Drunk Souls Part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Watching on the
Yo,
roast
did
session.
you watch it? We're cool.
Check it out. And I've been watching a show Yao recommended, Booth at the End. It's pretty lit. And I finished reading a manga called Boku no My Hero Academia or whatever it is. Really decent. If you like Naruto, it's basically fucking Naruto.
It's very popular. I've seen it a lot on like the interwebs.
The anime's not bad. It has pretty decent animation.
It's like Sky High, the manga.
It's Marvel's Naruto, basically, because it feels like
It
Naruto.
actually sounds pretty lit.
Yeah.
I told you, man. You should check it out, man.
It's
Wait, is it to manga?
Yeah,
It has an
It
animation.
has an animation too.
yeah. And I actually think it'll probably go on for at least 20 episodes, maybe 20, 21 episodes. I think
Like
it'll get that
26.
much. Yeah. I think it'll get that much max out and
Yeah, it's gonna be seasonal.
then break for 5 years like Attack on Titan,
Hopefully,
Oh,
just
God.
one.
which should be coming back soon. Hopefully.
What
What
about-
about you, Junie? Yeah,
My life is it's just a
Aspiring
big
to-
clusterfuck.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I've been relaxing and chilling. Really, no, I don't really have much on my plate, but that's a good thing.
That is
It's a good thing. There's not really a lot of negative. I have a lot of good vibes surrounding my life right now.
Positive vibe.
I don't think there's ever been a point
Good
in my life
vibes.
where I'm like, everything's just been good. There's always something.
Yeah, like I'm feeling like this, I'm in the. If anything, I'm in the eye of the storm. But I'm
It's calm there.
That's the safest spot to be. Though.
Yeah, I'm gonna suck it in. I'm gonna suck it in right now. That's pretty much what it is.
And Gabs.
Me, the only eventful thing I've done recently is I went to a club for a friend's birthday, and it was terrible. I learned music is dead, that's for sure. The DJ played Rihanna's Work 5 times,
Good God.
Work.
I hate that song.
and it was just the whole night was just inconvenience after inconvenience because there was a big group of us supposed to go, and I was like, awesome. And then towards the end, like when the date arrived, I was like, I should call out. And I call my friend saying, like, I'm about to call out. But the moment I call, he's like, thank God you called. Everyone's called out on me. Yo, we got to make it lit tonight. Just me and you. And I was like, oh, no. We get to the club. As soon as the club starts, I do the coat check. Not even like, I go to the coat check. I do that. I go to the bar, I buy a drink. In the moment I pull out the money for the drink, I lose my ticket for the coat check. So that was like a huge argument I had with that guy for like, I want to say 30 minutes of the night.
Good Lord.
Shit. Holy crap.
And so DJ's terrible. And it's so bad the DJ's terrible. I'm taking... we went to Webster Hall in the city. Shout out to Webster. And it's like 3 different venues at once. So if you don't like the DJ on one floor, you go to the second floor. You don't like that one, you have a third option.
That's pretty cool.
What if you do if you're asked out of all 3?
So I went on a terrible night, and the first venue was closed. They're like, no, just 2 venues. And my options was the shitty DJ who's just a big fan of Rihanna, I'm assuming.
Shout out to Rihanna, though.
Shout out to you, fine.
Yeah, you fine.
And then the other one was just dubstep. And dubstep's fine, but I was just worried of getting, like, pummeled.
The robot.
They were more just moshing down there when I went.
Okay.
I had fun. I did both. I jumped in between.
Yeah.
But when I went to the bathroom, the first DJ was so bad that the bathroom attendant had about, I want to say, a 5-minute conversation telling me how ass that DJ was. He's like, you came on the worst night, man. I'm just trying to take a piss. And I was like, yeah, I know. I have to talk to you.
I just like how the guy was like, hold on, I need to tell someone about this. Thank God someone came to the bathroom.
For someone to get in the bathroom. I mean, I always talk to those guys. Their job sucks, let's be honest.
Damn.
You gotta give, what do they
down.
give you like gum or some shit, like normal bathroom attendants?
They give you a towel and some
No, I wish.
Shit?
And I wouldn't take up, this bathroom looked pretty, like, dirty.
Oh, it was one of those glory hole bathrooms.
It was,
What?
What's your whole starting to become weird? Shit.
I've never been in those bathrooms.
Nah. Our high school bathrooms.
Oh, things would
Oh,
happen.
that was a suck fest. Brentwood High School. Shout out to Brentwood High School and your suck fest bathrooms.
Fucking bathrooms.
That's just that's a den of sin. I walked in there one time and the ceiling was wet. I was like, I don't know how that happened.
Is that? How did you even get that up there?
I just walked out. I was like, no.
I feel like they brought a black light in that bathroom.
It's like that.
Somebody would lose their job.
It's like
Do you
that
remember when
scene
kids
from
would play
Daddy Kid.
CeeLo in there?
Yeah.
CeeLo? There was people playing CeeLo.
Yeah.
I would walk into the bathroom and it was walking into Vegas night. I was like, oh man, it's lively, so much energy. Everyone's just like, who's there? And then they just go back to play.
Not only CeeLo, but like, yo, can't mention names, but there was a dude we went to high school with, and he got in a fight with in the bathroom at the high school. And he got knocked out, and he fell face first into the urinal, and they had it on like tape, and it looked like some shit from a movie.
Good old World Star.
Like, good, just face into urinal, full urinal.
Was that before the World Star craze?
I think so.
I think so, but it would have been perfect for
that would have been on there.
Basically, our high school was pretty lit.
Yeah.
That's it. Besides that, the only other thing I've done lately is the reason why we're here today. We're going to talk about Civil War, Captain America.
Yep.
Yeah, Merca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Let's get right into it. We're going to jump to the story. So a quick synopsis of the story is you could get right off the title, Civil War. It's the Avengers fighting amongst themselves, even though this is a Captain America
Just
film.
like usual, actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what? I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Technically speaking, yeah, it's happening in like every movie.
Oh, we're going to get to that, Gabs.
They're big egos. I understand that they're all big egos, but this movie ultimately boils down to the 2 biggest egos, which is Captain America and Iron Man, arguing over if they should sign up with the government, but it's really over Bucky. That's what this whole premise is about.
All up all night to get Bucky?
Up all night to get Bucky. Bucky with the good hair. That's what this movie's about.
I don't know if anyone's ever made that meme yet.
Can we,
Yeah.
They get all night to get Bucky.
Oh.
They make that meme.
We're gonna put that somewhere in the video, like
a little.
and then maybe the podcast, and then put it in parentheses.
Up all night to get Bucky.
But this whole movie for me, I did actually enjoy this movie. There were a few things I was like, well, that's bullshit, and whatever. But this whole movie, actually, you could rename it to Captain America: Simple Misunderstandings.
Yeah. Captain
America: Damn You, Scarlet Witch. And and Captain America, that's pretty convenient.
Because this movie was very convenient.
Yeah.
It serves it.
Convenient plot points.
Yeah.
But let's get into that. Let's start off with that. Where would you guys like to start?
Well, Yao's the residential
roaster.
Yeah,
So we'll let Yao do the
chef,
whole
the
story
head
thing.
cook.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
top.
I mean, let's get to the first, the whole catalyst that starts this whole thing.
Right.
So Captain America, and his crew,
Against
his
Crossbones.
team against
His
Crossbones.
gaggle of goons.
Now, I thought Crossbones was gonna have a bigger role in this movie. Turns out he was relegated to that scene.
Yeah.
So basically, they're going after Crossbones with their team. Things go south. Scarlet Witch ends up throwing Crossbones as he's exploding into a building because she can't control her powers.
People are gonna argue and they're gonna be like, she was nervous. It's a bomb, but let's be real.
She was chucking cars in this movie like nothing.
She also sent Vision into the earth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She planted him, literally.
She wanted those black kids to die, all right?
Is that what
It
it is?
had to happen. She's racist. She's racist.
What I did like in that opening scene is Scarlett Johansson, who is finally getting her own solo Black Widow movie.
Shout out to Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yes,
ScarJo.
She's the only one throughout this movie who doesn't need her suit to be like badass.
I just like how she was like in her work clothes.
In her blazer, in her brown blazer.
Like she just came back from Macy's and they're like, "Oh, we have a mission." She's like, "Yeah, all right."
Because the mission is predominantly them training Scarlet Witch. That's how it starts. They're teaching her how to be
An agent in the field.
They're teaching her how to be low key, which is AKA wear glasses and a cap, a sun cap. Because that's all you need to. That's how Captain America always walks around when he doesn't want to get caught. He just puts on a hat.
Yeah.
He's like, no one will notice my biceps.
He's a master sleuth.
Is that what?
It's alright. Let's continue, y'all. Let's keep going.
So basically, after that, scene happens. They're like, "Oh, you guys caused destruction. Watch this news report of you causing destruction." And then, the government guy shows up. I forgot his name. Who cares about that guy? He shows up. He wants them to sign this accordance with, Wakanda, since they blew up a building in Africa. I think it was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So,
And Wakandans died there.
they want the Avengers to sign up with the government, to have all their, missions be government sanctioned so they don't cause any problems, no international incidents.
And that's what the whole premise is.
yeah, Tony Stark's like, we should sign, and Captain America's like, no.
And the pot continues to get stirred when Bucky gets involved, and the heat between the two get even more intense.
Well, this is
He was
my...
definitely- Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please.
I was just gonna say that Bucky was just like the gas that.
Yeah, the gas and the fire, yeah.
Well, for me, this whole movie ultimately boils down to just the two catalysts, which is Bucky and that random black woman who was waiting by the elevator. Not even to ride it, by the way. The little pet peeve of mine. You were just standing there and she's like, no, this is my floor. I was like, then move.
You know what's funny? Iron Man was like, come on. Come on. He was clicking the buttons. Come on. I can get up. He was like, my son died. He said, come on. I gotta get out of here. Leave me alone.
But she gave a face to Segovia, to the tragedy and stuff.
Yeah.
Because if not, Iron Man would not have given a fuck. He'd be like, listen, I'm sorry that, thousands of people died, but shit happens. Because if we ultimately boil this down to, I'm Team Cap. I wouldn't have signed that thing, that treaty, that...
You're Team Cap.
I'm Team Cap. Red, white, and blue. Not red and yellow.
See, I'm Team Iron Man.
And the fight continues.
For a very simple reason. The
Team
fact
Bucky.
that
Team Bucky?
Yeah. Fight over me, guys. Come on.
even if the government had taken control, what Captain America's arguments were that if they take control, we won't be able to go where we're needed. So basically, we'll have to go through a whole bunch of red tape to do our missions. And I was like, you were supposed to kind of do that in this movie in the beginning. You guys do whatever you want. So if the government's controlling you, you literally can just do whatever you want.
The only reason I disagree with is because a lot of the people they encounter, it's on the fly. It's not like you have enough time to go through the red tape and the paperwork. The whole movie starts off with Crossbones with a bomb on him, and Captain America's like, "Oh, I should have known that." What would the government have told him? They'd be like, "Well, these things happen."
You know what's funny? Crossbones mentions Bucky, and that's what distracts Captain America. I was like, was he working with Baron Zemo?
I think that was his informant, the buyer. I think that was his buyer, right?
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, but then, did Baron Zemo know that he was going to blow up a building? Because what would that have done otherwise?
Yo,
this plot, no, it's been very convenient for Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo gets away
stop
with a lot
making
in
me
this
think
movie.
about things, yo.
Because, honestly, I was always wondering, I was like, oh, where's that Crossbones part going to come back in the movie? And it never did. I was like, wait, so what was that?
Just another.
You know what's weird is that you mentioned Bucky and distracted him. He's like, I don't even know if you would have known that bomb was there. Like, what would have indicated that? Like, what would have tipped you off that this guy's prepared to Allahu Akbar himself just to get you?
Which means if anyone else ran into Crossbones, what would he say to them?
Oh, if anyone called him, he's like,
I bet you think about Bucky. They're like, who?
That guy Bucky ripped off your wings in the last movie. Fuck. Just activate the bomb.
What's also funny about that mission is that if they wanted to minimize the destruction that they would go, why didn't they take the whole Avengers team? Vision could do that whole mission in like 5 seconds flat because he literally can't be touched.
But he was shopping for sweaters this movie.
Oh, he's at Gap. He was at Gap.
He was at the Gap.
Usually, I would say, oh, he was house sitting, but Scarlet Witch was on that mission.
Oh.
So why didn't they all of them just go? At least then Iron Man would be like, oh, well, it wasn't really your fault. Or they would have prevented it altogether.
And Vision could have like put him in the ground or some shit.
Like, why did only half of them go? What's the point of that?
Don't know. That's actually... Iron Man was doing a speech, and that's where he meets annoying black woman in front of the elevator, but...
But what about the rest of them?
I don't know. That's a good point.
You know, that is actually a big flaw because at the end of Age of Ultron, they make it a point to show you the new Avengers team. And the new Avengers team is Captain America, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, The Vision, Falcon, and War Machine.
Right.
And this movie starts off with Falcon, Captain America, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch. Am I missing anyone? No, it's those four.
Yeah.
So it's pretty odd that the people that you thought were going to be part of this new Avengers team, which was, I guess, the name anyway, they were the new Avengers.
Yeah, that problem could have been snuffed out early.
They definitely got rid of the whole thing pretty early. And at the end of this movie, which we'll get to later, they make it so that you'll never really see that team in action anyway.
I mean, most of the problems I have with this movie aren't enough to break the movie, but it's enough to show this movie that it's very convenient.
Yeah.
Oh, very. That was my thing. I said I ultimately enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. There was just a few parts where I was like, that doesn't really make sense.
So with that, we should continue.
You want to get into the characters?
Yeah, you get into characters.
Let's get into individual characters and we'll move on because the thing is that most of these Marvel movies, the villains are kind of weak anyway.
Yeah.
So we might as well just get into the story while we're talking about Zemo anyway. So what do you want to start with?
To the new guys.
Let's start off with the favorites. Everyone loves them. Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's fucking great in this movie.
Alright, so Black Panther, my African brethren. Alright. I don't know how anyone else feels, but anything that comes out of that accent is just interesting to me. It made everything 10 times more interesting.
I just love the character overall. He was so badass. Literally, Bucky ran from him. Bucky hides behind a building, and he's like, he'll jump over me. And he doesn't. He's like, fuck this.
I like Black Panther a lot because he reminds me of Kenshiro from Visit North Star. He's serious, but he says funny shit. He doesn't mean it. Like when Black Widow's in front of him, and the girl's like, move or I will move you. And he's like, as interesting as that sounds. And I was like, why are you joking? He was mad cool. The guy who was playing him, I don't know his name, but he pulled the character off very well.
What I loved is it showed a huge difference in power between because I was like, oh, Civil War, they're gonna try to even out the powers.
Yeah.
I was like, once Black Panther gets on the team, I was like, no, this movie shows how badass he is.
Yeah,
Bucky cannot beat him in a fight.
He whooped his ass every time he encountered him.
Every single time, and then with everyone else just attacks him, and he's like, I'm trying to fight Bucky. Move.
that was pretty cool. He just didn't care for anyone else, really.
I don't care.
I don't have time for
that was another thing, is this movie, oh man, I love Hawkeye. Hawkeye is one of my favorite characters, because I love human heroes. I love they're human. It shows their limits, their extents. They don't have powers. Hawkeye pointed out in Age of Ultron, he's like, I'm just a guy with arrows, man. I can't do much. And in this movie, he's like, he does work. He puts in effort, just like Falcon and Scarlet Witch.
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
I always confuse Scarlet.
Because her name is Scarlett Johansson.
She sounds like a superhero.
Yeah, I know, right?
Holy shit, yeah, she kind of does.
Scarlett Johansson.
But, oh man, I love it. Even when they're fighting, because he's so useless in a face-to-face fight against Black Panther. I was like, this is great.
I just like when he sent the arrows to Black Panther caught him, and they just exploded, and he just did nothing.
Oh, that vibranium suit.
He's like, you got me, but it doesn't matter.
You know what's funny? Those same arrows are the arrows that blew Loki up in Avengers 1, and it sent Loki flying. And Black Panther caught two in the face, and he was like, that shit's nothing. I was like, good lord, the fuck? He's mad real. So yeah, Black Panther was the shit. And moving on to the other newbie in these movies.
Ant-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man, right.
Spider-Man.
Wrong bug.
Wrong bug.
But yeah, Spider-Man.
This is my favorite adaptation of Spider-Man, actually. I love this kid. He's young, he's quirky.
For right
I
now,
think that's what Peter Parker should be.
I like that they made his eyes move.
oh, the suit, yeah.
He squinted.
I like them because you can get the expression of Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man makes these kind of expressions in his comic book, but it doesn't make any sense because how is he moving an elastic mask like that?
Yeah.
But since it's like a robotic suit, it actually makes sense why you're moving. So they kind of like put the personality on the face, even though they can't really do it like physically because masks wouldn't make any sense.
The people had some odd gripes. They're like, it's so CGI. I was like, yeah, you guys bitch about this, but you don't bitch about Deadpool. I don't see the problem with
First thing, that CGI suit is pretty clean.
Yeah.
It is way cleaner than Black Panther's. Watch the movie. Spider-Man's suit is like, even though it's CGI, it looks pretty realistic, I would say.
It's good. It's good. I enjoy it.
Black Panther's CGI. It's when he did that.
The
Tatsumaki.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
Tatsumaki.
That freaking Tatsumaki shit.
That's
what I noticed.
That or any of the scene with the motorcycle is CGI. The scene where they're falling is CGI. Because if you actually look at the behind the scenes thing, they Captain America's on a stool and he jumps off of it, and Black Panther just jumps up when they're in the chase scene.
Oh yeah, I see.
So him falling down was CGI and all that shit anyway. So a lot of the CGI scenes with Black Panther were a lot more noticeable than they were for Spider-Man.
But I like this portrayal of Spider-Man. I won't say he's the best until he has his own solo movie.
Yeah.
Because
You just hate how annoying he is. You guys saw that movie? Star Wars?
I hate that. I wonder if that's product placement by Disney, honestly.
Oh yeah.
But it's like,
You guys ever see that movie Force Awakens? Go
I
watch
mean-
Force Awakens.
as far as how strong the characters were in the movie overall, I think Spider-Man's one of the better characters.
I think what I like the most about Spider-Man is this is Spider-Man 6 months in. So he's not OP,
Yeah, he's not Diesel as fuck.
but he is still OP. Like when he
Yeah.
catches Winter Soldier's metal hand. Winter Soldier's face is like, no one's ever done this. How do you do this? Who are you?
So far, right now, as far as I can tell, he's definitely pulling off a good Peter Parker. And I won't say he's my favorite because Tobey Maguire's still the shit. But
I do, and I love Marissa Tomei. She fine. She is aging like wine.
Ooh.
Wait.
but I definitely like how awkward he is. And when he puts on the mask, he's still awkward. But it's like how he's in the comic books. He's more brave. He shows that he's
He has
more
courage.
confident in himself at this point because he's wearing the mask. And that's what I like. I like the way he talks and the way he goes about his character.
If he continues telling jokes like the one he told about Captain America's shield, I will like him as well.
I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite scene in the entire movie. He's like, your shield doesn't apply to the laws of physics. And Captain America's like, look, kid, there's a lot of things to do.
I was like, you didn't explain it.
I don't think you can.
I like that scene, and
Captain America, how's your shield work? Justice. Freedom.
remember that scene
It's
when
America.
when Captain America throws that tanker at Spider-Man and he catches it? I was like, how did you know Spider-Man would be able to catch that?
Oh, he didn't know he had super strength.
I imagine it just killed him.
That would have been some shit. Like, oh, well, there he goes, guys.
I like how that scene, like, you know, encapsulate how people from New York act. He's like, where are you from?
Like,
Queens, Brooklyn.
gotta represent. LA Cool J status.
And also, I think the biggest thing is that I like that he invented his web shooters. Because Amazing Spider-Man, he didn't invent his shooters. He, like, stole plans or some shit from Oscorp.
From his father.
Yeah, and but in this movie, it's all his own design, and it shows that he's a genius now on his own right, which is.
Did you guys
what I
get to
like
see
a lot.
the bonus scene at the end of the credits?
Yeah, with
Oh,
shit
it's
from the
like
comic
he
books.
will return.
Yeah.
The little mechanical thing is from the comic books. I actually don't know where it's from, but I've seen pictures spur up on the
The
internet. from it.
thingamabob?
Yeah, the little spider symbol on the
Yeah,
roof,
that's
or whatever.
I
it
thought
is.
that was a spider light, like
What
the
is
one
that
he puts
for?
on his belt.
I thought it was too. I have no idea what it is though.
I don't
What
know.
does it mean?
I don't fucking know.
Watch Homecoming.
It had
Homecoming next year.
Spider-Man
He's
will
coming
return, remember?
he will return.
He made a big point just to say that to us. We have some of the rights.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to do next? I want to get to my favorite.
Who's
Your
your
favorite
favorite?
character?
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man.
Oh, the boy, my favorite too. I love Ant-Man.
I enjoyed Ant-Man. I enjoyed Ant-Man for several reasons. Because, like, I feel like he could break the fourth wall if he wanted to.
It's Scott Lang. Yeah. If you want a quick explanation of Scott Lang in the comic books, there's a character called Valkyrie, busty woman character,
Nice.
and they were traveling to a mission, and he hid inside of her cleavage. And she looked out, and he's like, "Hold on, this is the safest place I could be." I was like, "What the fuck is this character?" So that's Scott Lang in a nutshell for you.
I felt like he was breaking the fourth wall when he's in jail and he's like, Hank Pym always told me never trust a Stark, and Tony was like, who are you? And I was like, this is a super reference because not many people saw this movie.
Oh my god.
He's like, come on, man. That's so funny, man.
He had no comeback. He was like, that's good.
I think all of his jokes definitely hit me, like, for comedy. Like, you're gonna need to go to the mechanic after this.
Yeah.
All the shit he was saying was
Who's
that
speaking?
funny.
It's your conscience.
Yeah,
We
but
don't talk
talk
much.
to
It
I
was
like
really
even how he
good.
talks in his voice where he's like, here you are, Captain America.
I thought
That's
that
funny.
scene was so dumb because they're mid-fight, but he's like, hey, throw this at this. It'll be really cool.
That's he's like, I thought I was a water tanker. They could have just killed them. It was like, imagine he threw that at like Scarlett Johansson instead. She would have just died.
You know what's funny? Even if it wasn't a fire tank, if he threw a truck at her, he was like, throw that at her. He was like, that's still fucking killer. Kevin's like, why her of all people?
But yeah,
Wow.
him, it was great. I don't know. Scarlett Johansson proved she doesn't need a suit to fight. The only difference her suit has is that taser.
I like how she always has good fight scenes, honestly.
They're
Their fight
great.
scenes are definitely really choreographed well.
Yeah, I love that. Who is the...
The choreographer for this
No,
movie?
the other girl. She was Peggy's...
Oh,
like,
Mockingbird?
Mockingbird. I was excited. I was like, you're not a normal suit.
Well, her fight scene with her and Black Widow versus Winter Soldier.
Everyone against Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. And the choreographer for this movie is good because he's only done Winter Soldier in this movie.
I just wish
Pretty new to
Winter
the
Soldier
business.
couldn't teleport after he gets like thrown off of any spot.
Oh yeah, he just disappears. He's
Because
free.
even Black Panther was like, that doesn't make sense.
He uses Jason logic, man.
Alright, who else? Who do you guys want
If
to
anything, I want to get into Winter Soldier. I feel like this movie nerfed him. I feel like this is the weakest I've ever seen him.
I mean, I always thought he was like even in strength with Captain America.
Yeah, but Captain America's a super soldier. Winter Soldier, he's just a man with a metal arm.
I feel
I
like
mean,
they nerfed him for Black Panther, and that's it. Because he couldn't beat Black Panther at all.
He couldn't beat Black Panther.
He put in work against everyone else for the most part, though.
To be fair, he has the ability to never get shot with bullets. That's a pretty strong ability.
Apparently.
That and
He
this-
ran into a man with just his hand out, and all the bullets went straight.
Oh shit! I completely forgot that
All he
scene.
has to do is put his
dumbest
hand
scene
in
we
front
saw.
and he doesn't get shot.
that he was punching everything to like all heck. He punched the car.
That's the funny thing is, it's only that one metal arm, but he does like kicks and hits with his other arm, and it's still effective. So I was like, I don't know what your actual power is. I guess he has super soldier serum also.
Basically,
For
that
those-
vibranium arm is basically the same thing as Captain America's vibranium shield. I assume.
If anyone wants to correct us, I don't even know if he has a super soldier serum. I don't read much of his comic books or much of his character. He is cool. He's a cool character. I don't read much about him, but if you know if he has a super soldier serum,
Yeah,
feel free to
educate
correct me.
us.
Because
Let me know, Ed Brubaker.
in the movie, if you could also let me know if he has iron testicles, because he gets Bangkoked in the movie, makes no facial expression, just keeps
Oh yeah,
fighting.
fucking Black Widow like elbows him in the nuts, and he's like,
Well,
just
they
eats it.
they cut off his nuts because he doesn't need reproductive system
Is this
to
fact?
be.
Is
No.
Is this back? No, I was lying.
It's the Winter Soldier because it's very cold for
I mean, what I think I did not know was that if you get knocked out underwater, apparently Winter Soldier will actually not be under the control anymore.
Yeah, just freezing.
Yeah, that's how you break
Oh,
the
just
sleep rage you
recollect
control.
all of his memories.
Which means all they had to do was like smack him a couple times, and it's good. You know?
Well, I know your biggest gripe was with Winter Soldier was during the movie when Baron Zemo finally has him trapped in the containment cell.
Oh yeah.
And he starts reading the German word some.
There's several layers there. Because the fact that Winter Soldier got out, which means that containment unit wasn't made to control him.
It wouldn't have
which is
held him
funny.
at it anyways.
Yeah.
So why did they maybe put him in there? That's number one. Number two is after he got out of, broke his shackles, became unchained. Why didn't he just cover his ears?
He could just put finger in finger, just ah la 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 la.
You would never get this. You would never get this.
I mean, especially since it's like a barrier between him and Baron Zemo, it wouldn't take too much to, block the sound out.
My main problem with that scene was when the power outage occurred. Nobody checked up on Baron Zemo. Captain America was like, where are they? And she's like, this wing. And he runs there. Everyone else, like the government officials who know Winter Soldier's a menace, they're like,
Yeah.
find out what's the problem with that fuse, huh? What's going on?
I
No,
I
it's
guess-
weird.
I mean,
I'm surprised Mockingbird didn't get fired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was doing mad sus stuff. She
She
got
told
their
them where it was
equipment
at,
back.
It
got their
was for
equipment. She
Bay.
did a bunch of shit for for Bay.
Yeah, but still, she broke.
Oh, you remember when they were kissing and then?
Oh, there were you, Winter Soldier and
Just
and
walk
Falcon
on
were
the
like,
car.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was also pretty funny. He's like, "Can you move your seat up?" No.
Yeah.
And he just moves over.
This had to be my favorite adaptation of the Falcon, by the way. Everything about him, like,
Yeah.
I like how useful he was.
yes. And I love that because, again, he's human, so he's, like, limited on the stuff he can do, but he puts in work.
Like, his wings turn to, like, a shield, and he, like...
Makes more sense than your hand blocking bullets.
Oh, yeah, it
Doesn't
does.
it?
He was, like, dropping bombs on people. I was like, this is pretty dope.
His most impressive move
He
is
had
when,
good lines and shit, too. He was good.
although when he just easily just dodged Vision's attack
Yeah.
and still got the blame for it.
I just like how he got stunned in this movie, because it's always the funniest thing to me. Whenever, like, he's doing something, and then people just make him look bad. He's like, alright. Like, when Ant-Man showed up, he was like, alright, that was, you know...
What happened between us is not
You won't
relevant
my
anymore.
ass again?
Like, it didn't count.
They made him and Winter Soldier like this comedy duo. Like when they beat Spider-Man, and Winter Soldier's like, you could have done that from the beginning. He's like, I hate you. This is like a little comedy duo they had going with each other. It was pretty fucking entertaining. That was like
good.
a lot.
That's true.
So for the newbies, real quick, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and Falcon, in the grand scheme of these movies, are the newbie characters, and they put in...
I think that's amazing.
We haven't talked about Vision.
Oh yeah, Vision and Scarlet Witch are also the newbie characters as well.
You know what's funny? Vision is super strong, but he didn't really do that much in this movie.
He could.
Yeah.
I think he's just too OP and they don't know how to write for him, to be honest. But
They don't know how to write for him if there's no one like that can accommodate his powers. And
Yeah,
All he
nobody
did was
really
injure
match
Rhodey.
So
He's
Yeah.
basically Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
great, but will never be used.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the opposite. He's Diesel, but it's just, he didn't catch L's like Martian Manhunter. He was more like sidelined, I
He
guess.
did get sent to the earth, but
I respect his sweater game, but you know he's a step.
oh,
up.
he's a dapper gentleman.
He has to step up his
fucking
fights.
Yeah.
The only person I wish that they would write more for was Scarlet Witch, because during the whole fight, no one attacks her, not a single person. At the end, War Machine does, and I was like,
Sound Blaster.
but she's too OP, man.
she is, but she was wrecking people, and they were just watching her from a distance. They're like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight that.
You know what you're thinking? You couldn't have done this earlier and prevented this whole movie, huh?
Why are you gonna be real now? When you're whooping my ass,
couldn't
you're gonna
send
be real.
Crossbones into the earth.
You could have sent him into the sky. Why into a building? Yeah. I see you, Scarlet Witch. I see you.
What was funny is they were training her how to become like secretive, not how to use them. She has full control of her powers.
Wait, but she doesn't have the power to contain the blast.
If, if this was real Scarlet Witch from the comic book, she just would have made him disappear. Like as soon as he was like,
That's the
I'm
thing.
gonna blow myself, she could have just evaporated him from existence. Yeah, she's
I'm
broke.
gonna say like
She's Diesel's helm.
She could have just like
looks.
made a protective orb around the blast instead.
I mean, there's a lot of things they could have
somewhere.
done that would have made sense. That would have made sense. Throwing him even farther in the sky would have made sense. Putting him in the earth like she did Vision would have made sense. But
There are a lot of people who were definitely OP, like the Captain.
Captain was OP in this fucking.
This is both Captain and Iron Man. I think did outstanding in this movie. Iron Man does a 2v1 and whoops ass.
Yeah.
And during the whole fight, he's even holding back. Like he doesn't really go all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cap's pulling helicopters out of the sky and kicking cars. So I don't even know his power anymore.
He's really fucking Diesel in this movie. I'm starting to wonder he's just gonna like one-on-one Thanos and whoop his ass in the fucking Infinity War movies with how
I hope
good
he
he
gets
was.
that iconic punch in.
Oh yeah.
I want to see that for sure.
Yeah, the newbies, Vision and Scarlet Witch. I think they could have done a little bit better with Vision, and they could have definitely worked a little bit more with Scarlet Witch in certain scenes.
It's incredible because
For action scenes, anyway.
Because we're showing how OP they are, because they definitely were. And like
They're the
y'all said,
strongest characters.
yeah, we had like some of the best. Like they're at their strongest in this movie, and we have like the weakest villain, Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
Because Baron Zemo in this film is just human, and his whole plot is based on the premise that they will fight against each other.
Huh,
That
sounds
my
like
plan is-
another movie we talked about.
Oh yeah, it does.
Shout out
only
to
they could see the one.
podcast Batman v Superman.
So basically, Zemo's whole plot is to take down the Avengers because what happened to Age of Ultron.
Segovia.
It inadvertently led to the death of his family. Yada, yada, yada. Who cares about Zemo?
Revenge.
Alright? Basically, Zemo's plan is just to, get them to fight each other. And I don't even know how he knew this plan would work.
He said he studied them for a year. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched the movies too, Zemo. Alright? But, literally, he was like that part where Crossbones, was he working for him? Was he not? Because if Crossbones didn't blow up the building, there would be no accordance.
There'd be no catalyst, right?
Yeah.
Besides that, the movie ends with a reveal that Winter Soldier killed Tony Stark's parents. But the whole thing is that if Captain America knew, then he could have told Tony Stark earlier, and they wouldn't have that fight there. Then what Baron Zemo would have done?
It'd be extremely anticlimactic, but I think it'd be the funniest scene. Be like, yes, he killed your parents. I know. We had a briefing.
We had a fight.
He just fucking
Because his only plan after that was he had a gun, which he planned on killing himself, and he'd be like, well,
Black Panther is like, not today.
My job is
You do not die today. I kind of feel like they misuse him because Baron Zemo in the comic books, he's like the leader of the masses of evil, one of the many leaders of Hydra.
Yeah,
he's
like
really
badass.
Diesel.
He's
He's like I'd put him a notch below Doctor Doom.
Like, he's a problem.
I put him a notch below
He's a
Doctor
problem.
Doom. He's a big problem for the Avengers, and I guess this is more building him up. But Marvel has this big issue with their fucking villains, and they fuck up on them a lot.
I think that, like, what if they just, like, kind of, like, had everything somewhat toned down to make Thanos just that much worse?
You think that's what they're doing?
What if they're just gonna make him legit just wreck everyone?
Hey, I'd be fine with that if the Captain America movies themselves didn't have better villains, but they did. Red Skull's better villain than Baron Zemo, and so is the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The only thing
And Hydra.
Obadiah Stane was actually good in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, his fight just was nothing.
Yeah, his fight was nothing.
The thing
He
I
was
would
a good
appreciate
villain.
is if in Thanos, because in this movie what I like is there is no massive army to attack like in Age of Ultron and Avengers.
That's why I don't. That's why I think Age of Ultron was nice, but it wasn't special because it was the same thing.
So in this movie, the villain doesn't have an army; he's working by himself, or maybe with Crossbones and the guy who delivers that EMP.
Maybe that old black lady too. Because why was she there?
You know, you're right. Maybe
Yeah, she was a plant.
she was on her floor. It doesn't make sense. But I maybe they are gonna build up Baron Zemo because he has that one redeeming scene at the very end where he's being interrogated by Bilbo. He's like, your
Bilbo
plan
Baggins.
failed, and you watch, and he's like, just 2 words, just wrecked that man's entire career. Just did it. The man just stood there silent, like, come on, man, my friends are watching on surveillance.
You imagine on like the other end of the camera, it's those black dudes from that Super Hot 5. And he's like,
What I'd like to see is while Baron Zemo's in there, is him just pull out the Russian book and start reading the words, and Baron Zemo be like, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, to me, like, even the fact that, Captain America didn't tell Iron Man about his parents is like...
I wish they told us Captain America knew that.
it's such a weird thing because it's not like there was no prior indications that even happened.
And that's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Captain America was like, he just need to know. Like,
He wouldn't even...
that seems like a
do
big
that.
deal. Like, even though Captain America was trying to protect his friend, I mean, it's not like Iron Man was not going to arrest him anyway. You might as well have told him.
Well, this is
I
where
would have pulled that off like the first Avengers movie before Winter Soldier was even a factor. They're like, yo, bro, someone I know killed your... Which is also weird then, now that I think about it, because he realized Bucky was alive only in Winter Soldier.
So you're probably wondering, how does Captain America know, but the rest of the Avengers don't? Well, probably Scarlett Johansson knows.
Yeah,
Black Widow knows everything.
Yeah, Black Widow does know. She's fucking master liar and all that shit.
But, like, how does Tony Stark not know? I mean, I guess, like, Captain America's been in S.H.I.E.L.D. for longer, but, like, they're both in S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, why would they selectively give the information to this one person, not another person?
Because
They would
it's
do that.
weird.
Shield's fucked
Because
up.
Iron Man's like, did you know? I was like, how would you have known? There's no way you could have known that Bucky did it. Because you only just really recently knew he's
What's
alive.
crazy is if anyone should know, it should be Iron Man because Iron Man hacked into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s databases.
Yeah.
In fact, he found Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he should be the most likely person to know out of all of them.
Wow.
I mean, I just find it weird that, even if they did, S.H.I.E.L.D. was hiding it from it, then it should be in the movie. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I think it goes back again to just the convenience of it. Because if Baron Zemo had set this all up and they were like, no, we're actually friends. We came here to defeat you and possibly the 4 other Winter Soldiers you had. And he's like, oh, well, I shot them, so... you guys can take me to jail now.
And I lost.
It'd be a real short ending.
It's like kind of like when the Winter Soldier, after he was knocked out of the water, he was like, oh, I remember everything now. I was like, well, that's pretty convenient.
You remember everything just now. But yeah, I think we can move into the last part because I'm pretty sure we've already discussed our gripes with this fucking movie.
I got more.
Oh, you got more?
bars?
Let's talk about that EMP. Apparently, you can just bring EMPs to anything's front door.
Amazon will ship anything.
I mean, so much things about this movie have to do with, like, its security. Like, I was watching the movie, I'm just getting all comfy. And by the, 25-minute mark, we have, like, 3 fatalities. Maggie, dead. T'Challa's father, dead. You know, those black children dead.
All right.
Crossbones dead.
I didn't know if weird. Bombs are mad diesel in this movie. Dude was like mad far into the street and he blew up a building like all the way to the top floor. I didn't even work like that.
Oh yeah, I
He
forgot
blew up
about
on ground level and it hit the top level.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of bomb?
It's like the movie, like, I feel like now that we have superheroes and we have, like, places, people like S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, you know, people should feel pretty safe. I mean, bringing the EMP, like, his plan should have been better. Zemo's plan should have been better. I shouldn't be like, how did you do that? I shouldn't see the holes in his plans. Like him killing the doctor and showing up as a doctor. How come S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't just, like, card this guy?
Well, that wasn't S.H.I.E.L.D., that was the government.
Why didn't the government...
They should have.
I can't even walk into the front door of a government building myself. In America.
Yeah, I don't know how...
That's very true.
Also, S.H.I.E.L.D. was re-put together in Age of Ultron. Where was S.H.I.E.L.D. in this movie? Where was Nick
Sipping
Fury?
margaritas.
Wait, what?
They were sipping on that margarita.
Well, Nick Fury's off the grid. He's still off the grid. Nah, what really is like, we're not paying for Samuel L. Jackson. The same way we're not paying for Mark Ruffalo. Fuck them.
You'll find Mark Ruffalo and Thor Ragnarok, bitch. Oh, thank you.
That and Hulk would have definitely tipped the scales of this Civil War easily.
Thor and Hulk definitely would have fucked this whole thing up. But yeah, a lot of gripes, but unfortunately, we have like 4 minutes left. So let's at least talk about the things we liked about this movie.
No, as for things we liked, I think we can all agree. We loved the rookies. They came in and they came strong.
Yeah, it came so hard.
Fights were pretty dope.
Fights are dope.
Great,
and
yeah.
overall, this movie was entertaining.
It was.
Wasn't bad. I give this movie like it's 7 out of 10. It's way better than fucking Batman vs Superman. I wasn't like, there were scenes in this movie where I was like,
We don't necessarily need to compare them, but if we are,
there were scenes in this movie where I was like, wait, what? But I wasn't like blown away by like how incorrect the scene was or how bad a scene was filmed or something like that for this movie.
I think it's the best Captain America movie.
Yeah,
without a doubt, the best.
I think it's the first time Marvel's ever made it to number 3 in a movie and it not been horrible.
Is it? Oh my god!
Think about it. All Marvel's number 3 movies kind of suck.
Yeah,
ass.
Iron Man 3 was.
Spider-Man 3, Iron Man 3,
True. All right.
Blade 3.
Hey!
Oh!
Hey!
Yeah, they never hit 3
We don't
really
mention
well.
that.
X-Men 3, even though technically not X-Men movies, I only like the first one.
We were kids when we saw that. I hate the line.
Oh.
What happens when a toe gets struck by lightning?
I mean, the movie had... See, the movie started with, like, really great pacing. Like, things were moving really fast. You know, it would cut to, like, Berlin, Moscow.
Oh, with the spy movie cuts.
And things would happen so fast. Yeah.
Like Guy Ritchie walked in, he's like, got some ideas.
It moved.
He'd make a good Black Widow movie.
Oh, you'd make a
Guy
great
Ritchie,
Black
he'd
Widow.
make a
Black
fucking
Widow.
great.
That's probably what I'm most
shout him
excited
out.
for.
He's gonna do it now.
Guy Ritchie, get on it, man. Team up with
He's
Marvel.
gonna be one of the 30 views.
Basically, what I
And
say
they
about
can tie in Samuel L. with that, because Black Widow, she leaves at the end.
Yeah.
After, you know, Iron Man insults the shit out of her. He's like, I bet that double agent shit is hard to wear off. And she's like, I don't need this.
Word.
Walks away.
Basically, I'd say this movie, when they were in their suits, the movie was entertaining. The movie only slowed down to a screeching halt was when people were not in their suits. We're just waiting around for something to happen.
Yeah. This movie was good. I
So
liked
government scenes.
Oh wait, you know
The government scenes.
I want to throw something in.
Go for it.
I knew Black Panther was from Africa. I was surprised to hear that he had the accent. I'm gonna admit that.
I was very surprised to hear him have the accent.
His accent was great.
I thought it was gonna be a normal black guy.
As soon as he opened his mouth, I thought I was going to hear John Boyega. But I didn't hear that. I heard straight African.
Also, I like the fact that he doesn't have like cheesy like catchphrases. I feel like they do that a lot with black actors. They
You
have to have
mean
like
like
punchlines.
Falcon?
I guess it's for comedic purposes. But
Or
I'm like,
War Machine.
oh yeah.
Come on, man.
Now I'm pissed. It's
Also,
a thing.
Fun comic book fact: the T in his name is silent. In T'Challa.
Oh, is it?
It's actually Chala.
Chala?
He actually comments about it a few times. Like, how come you never brought it up before? He's like, no one ever asked.
Child.
He's
But
so
yeah.
badass, and even at the end when Iron Man is taking refuge in his beautiful ass mansion, I was like,
Oh, you
know,
mean
we
Captain
were in
America is-
Chicago. Yeah, we were in Chicago when that building blew up. No, the rest of your place doesn't look like this.
It's like, you know they'll come for you. Let them try.
Like his country, there was some poverty, there were slums. I was like, I feel like we're in like a spaceship in your house.
Nah, that wasn't Wakanda. That's why.
It was like normal ass Africa.
That was a town in like Nigeria.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wakanda's like fucking. Like I said, Black Panther's the richest comic book character. He makes.
Well, he has to be selling all that
300
vibranium.
He makes over $300 billion a year in the comic books.
Good God. Well,
Right.
I think that's all the time we have for today. Overall, our review, I'd say we could all agree for 7. You don't do numbers, but I'd say 7 out of 10. I'd even go for 8.
I'd say watch it in theaters.
You'd give it a watch. Okay,
Yeah.
you give it the green light.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Because I suck Captain's dick.
Another team cap. The war continues. All right, guys. We'll see you later. This is the roast session.
Take it easy, dudes.
I'm out.
It won't let me close. Oh, okay.